And welcome to the Daily Agenda. Interesting developments at the Labour Party conference. Or is it the Fabian Party conference? Globalist Party conference? Communists? Is there a difference really? Umbrella terms, they're all communists. Let's settle on that one. They're all communists. Anti-British, anti-white hating communists. That's all it is. And it came out quite clearly, didn't it? With De Starmer, Starmer declaring war on the collective riot, panicking, his speech delivered like a feeble, squeaking little mouse, full of malice and nastiness and concealed hate, or ill-concealed hate, quite frankly. But that's the left for you, full stop, isn't it? The collective left. That's what they are. And there's no point in trying to pretend that we're not at war with the collective left, because we most definitely are, and they are at war with us. And a giant train smash is coming in Britain between the right and the left and their allies. Of course, they want to flood the country with millions more immigrants. They hate us. They want to eradicate us. It's all part of the Great Replacement, which they claim doesn't exist. In fact, they claim the Replacement Migration Pact, United Nations, the communist organisation, is a conspiracy theory. Well, if it is conspiratorial and theoretical, it's their conspiracy theory, not ours. We just deal with the facts of what's happening to this country. And before we go any further, I'd just like to thank everyone for buying my books in September. Patriot Games won the sales pitch by just one copy. It sold one more copy than Shadow Soul. Although Shadow Soul has been on sale for nearly 5 years, and for it to still be going so strong, it's actually very pleasing, because this is getting out the spiritual side of what I believe, of my life. And that's something else the Labour Party absolutely hate: paganism, particularly Odinism. And that's why it's so important for people to get in touch with their Odinist pagan roots, or Wodenist in the Anglo-Saxon context. And Patriot Games, of course, just shatters the shibboleths of the institutionally corrupt centre-right and exposes them for what they are: safety valve operation. So thank you once again, for buying these books. You did something very positive. You took a meaningful step to understand material which they do not want you reading at all. That's the whole point of the leftist tyranny, is they want these books to disappear from existence, and me with it, and you as well. And we're not going to allow that to happen, are we now, people? We're not going to allow that to happen at all, because we are in a war. We are in an existential crisis, a fight for our very survival and our existence as a people and a nation and a culture. That is what they are at war with, and they intend to eradicate it completely. And us as well. Not just me, the people who stand out from the crowd, who come face out, but you and you, every single one of you. They want to eradicate you. And we're not going to allow that to happen. I found a very interesting Carl Benjamin video. In fact, a couple of Carl Benjamin videos. One in which he declared that Starmer has declared war on the right, and the other one in which basically they love immigrants and they hate us. But the really interesting thing about the Carl Benjamin video, the shorter one, in actual fact, the short form one, which was, I think, about 11 minutes long, the other one was over 2 hours long, was that what he propounded was ethno-nationalism, pure and simple ethno-nationalism. And yet, this is the man who attacks ethno-nationalists and calls them online extremists, notorious racists, whilst espousing all of the tenets of ethno-nationalism. You can go and watch the video for yourself, I'm not going to crop it in here because these people always cause copyright issues. So I'll just talk about it in actual fact. I'm not going to insert it into this video. But the simple truth is, why does Carl Benjamin rabbit, like a minor bird in truth? He sounded like a minor bird of every nationalist leader I've heard speaking in the past, and then call us notorious online racists. I mean, is there a difference between what he says about ethno-nationalists and what Shabana Mahmood says about the rise of ethno-nationalism? So what really is ethno-nationalism and why are they so scared of it? Well, that's the very essence of English and British culture. Same with the Welsh and the Scottish and the Irish. They want to eradicate it. They want no nations, no borders, no distinct races or cultures, everything under a one world government, a tyranny. No doubt Tony Blair will play a centrifugal role in that globalist tyranny. That's what they truly want. And Blair, of course, is the hidden hand. Yes, the hidden hand dripping in blood from all the war crimes he's committed. Behind the brick card, the identity scam that they are trying to foist upon us, apparently to stop illegal migration, whilst giving speeches at an AGM, which shows that they absolutely love immigrants and immigration. These people have no intention of stopping immigration, curtailing it in any way, shape or form. That's a fact that we know. So yes, immigration, it will just roll on. And if we look at the 2029 complex, in terms of all the different hypotheses coming together of what's going to happen in 2029, there's a general consensus that the election is going to be rigged. It could be. These people are capable of anything. They're rigging elections across the whole of Europe. Why wouldn't they do it here? Britain's not exceptional, is it? I don't think it's exceptional. It's just totally in line with the norm of what these people are doing. But for Carl Benjamin to be so deeply upset about it and to rabbit the ideology of ethno-nationalists whilst calling us racist, yes, just like a lefty, and then at the same time saying, well, if it's a battle between fake Farage, the controlled opposition freak, and Starmer, he'll have to back Nigel. So he's not actually backing anything, is he? I mean, he's an extremely confused individual. And whilst he appears to many people to be intelligent and well-educated and intellectual, in actual fact, the vast majority of what Carl Benjamin says makes no sense at all, because it's just a raft of inherent contradictions, easily picked apart by somebody with experience and intelligence, and that's what I do. And I do it with pleasure, because Carl Benjamin is a fake. He's an absolute fake, just like Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe and Ben Abid. These people are not offering anything meaningful in the terms of real-world solutions. What they are offering to the public is a safety valve operation, a quick fix, a temporary fix, some tampering around the edges to make it look like there's been some form of reform. Deep fake reform. That's all Nigel Farage is leading, a deep fake reform. And the reason why we're emerging into this battle between De Sturmer and Farage is because that's exactly what they want. They want this polar opposite paradigm, whereby no one else can get a look in. It's a battle between the uniparty puppet, De Sturmer, and fake Farage, the leader of their safety valve operation. He's not a threat to anyone, and they know it perfectly well. One has only to look at the very friendly conversations that they have, Farage in particular, whining and dining and hobnobbing with the likes of Starmer and Mandelson. It's all a game, it's all a pantomime, and I keep telling people this. It's just one giant contrived pantomime. And people like Carl Benjamin are here to get you sucked into that pantomime. They want you fixed into a seat on the front row, preferably, with the stage in front of you, listening to all of their paid actors promising you the earth and delivering absolutely bloody nothing. All by design. What nationalists are doing, or trying to do, in actual fact, is to actually deliver meaningful, sweeping reforms. So if you actually look at what a lot of these centre-right people are advocating now, supposedly centre-right, that is, I saw Jess Gill advocating a policy which is almost identical to the 95% white supermajority that we propose. Now, Shabana and Mahmood said, oh, these ethno-nationalists, they don't regard someone like me as ever being able to be English. Well, that is just fact, scientific fact. Can she show us a DNA test which connects her to Anglo-Saxon skeletal remains in this country? Of course she can't. She'll never be able to do that. All of their DNA is from the Indian subcontinent. Okay? That's where she comes from. Nominally, she's Pakistani Muslim. She's not British. Well, she's British in the sense of having British citizenship, but that's something we intend to bring an end to, the whole British citizenship scam. And of course, in terms of being English, ethnically impossible. Absolutely ethnically impossible. So why on earth would we want to retract any of our policy planks on this issue? And we won't, obviously. Absolutely not under any circumstances. So I would say Carl Benjamin's hysteria and how he likes to play with swear words in his Sargon of Akkad podcast it's all contrived. It's all contrived. But what isn't contrived, frankly, is Labour's war on the right. And in particular, they hate ethno-nationalists. We saw that from Shabana Mahmood yesterday. How much she hates ethno-nationalists, how much she wants to stop ethno-nationalists. So you can be absolutely certain what this organised criminal gang is planning is a crackdown on ethno-nationalism and some more centre-right people. Just to make it look good, while the left, of course, are just left alone completely, unless they're backing Palestine action. And the only reason they banned that is because, well, they damaged some military property, didn't they? And it looked bad for them. And so they had to make it look like they were doing something. And that's all it's about. But ideologically, they're pretty much the same, you know? And in terms of when they talk about their differences between Nigel Farage and Tommy Robinson et al., well, they're all Zionists. They're all funded by Zionist Israel. So where is the difference? They're all singing from the same Talmud sheet, aren't they? As far as I'm concerned, they're all funded by exactly the same people. And so where's the difference? This is what I'm saying. It's just one giant pantomime designed to lure ordinary people into a safety valve operation to ensure they can achieve absolutely nothing. But I can assure you of this. The only people who will achieve something meaningful and dynamic is ethno-nationalists. So if anyone wants to save this country and wants meaningful, sweeping reform, real, tangible change that they can taste and touch and see, then you need to become an ethno-nationalist or support ethno-nationalist parties. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Agenda, and there'll be more truth again later today. Have a nice day.